Alright, so hi all, it's Tiffany. I'm getting ready to go to dialysis, obviously. Um, I have managed to work on my phone and get my phone to, I think my phone will allow me to film without interruption this time, because I managed to delete some crap off of it finally. But yeah, today is June 13th. It is the 20th anniversary of Victory Day, where Michael Jackson was declared not guilty on 10 major counts and 4 lesser charges, so 14 counts in total, after being tied up in litigation for I think about 18 months. So it still aggravates me that 20 years later, idiots are still pushing the narrative that he was this monster, that he got off because he was rich, and, yada, 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 all of the same empty speaking points. And I want to point out that they had 14 counts. Any one of those counts, he could still be in jail right now. But a jury of 12 found him not guilty. They found him innocent. The FBI surveilled him for an entire 10 years. His foot didn't slip in 10 years. You mean to tell me in a whole decade they didn't catch anything? Now, in the meantime, you got the Bill Cosbys, and you got the Diddys, and you got the R. Kellys doing all of their fucking shit in the background, which could have been caught much sooner. Don't forget Harvey Weinstein. All of their shit could have been caught sooner, but they were so focused on a man who did absolutely nothing that all of this other madness in Hollywood was going wild. I wanted to clarify that point. I'm going to stick by that point. I don't care how many mockumentaries Dan and James and Wade, fuck all three of them sincerely, all three of them, pull out of their ass. They can do 30, mockumentaries and rehashing and lying and all of that stuff. That's why, Wade has no fucking hairline, because his hair is running from the lies coming out of his mouth. But yeah, today is the 13th, June 13th. It's a good day for the fandom, for the Michael Jackson fans. I wish I was in California now, because they are going to be meeting up at the courthouse where the verdict was first read 20 years ago, and, replay it and celebrate it. It's going to be a big day, of course, and I'm going to be in dialysis. But, I do remember exactly where I was when the verdict came down. I was at home, and my friend Stacy had been at my house for the whole weekend because we were waiting for the verdict. And we thought it was going to come that Friday. It came the Monday, the same day that she went home. She went home Sunday evening, Monday afternoon actually. My mother called me and said, they're doing the verdict. And so, I turned on the news because my mother had the news on. My dad was outside, my dad didn't give a shit. And, I was scared because around the same time they had the Martha Stewart trial, where I think it was like insider trading or some shit. But I was spooked because they found her guilty. And, she had to serve some length of time. I don't even really remember. But I was like, okay, everybody loves Martha Stewart. And, at that point in time, in 2005, Michael Jackson was not seen as favorably as I would like to have seen him in the American media, unfortunately. So my pattern of thought 20 years ago was, well, shit, if they're sending Martha Stewart up, they're gonna send Michael Jackson away. And I just remember watching the whole thing, like how his car left Neverland, and how his employees had like the big human chain, and it was just a thing. And then they finally got there, And, they started reading off the not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. And I remember this one person was releasing doves. I don't know why every time there's something to do with Michael Jackson, somebody releases doves. But they were releasing doves. And, I just remember I was on my floor screaming. Just on the floor screaming. Because I really thought this was it. I thought this was the end of his career. I really thought that he was going to go to jail and that was going to be it. And when he was found not guilty on everything, I was in hysterics because I just, that was probably the first time I really believed that God was real. Was when, Michael Jackson got off the hook. And, that was just like a watershed moment for me as a fan. And, I'll always remember that day. I always remember that day. Like I said, I hate I gotta go to Dallas today. I would much rather be with my people at the courthouse today, but I'm gonna be there in spirit with everybody who's unable to be down there with Ron and the rest of them. But yeah, this is a day for celebration. And I'm gonna be probably partying all week because June 20th is actually the day that I became a Michael Jackson fan 30 years ago. So, there's that. And, we have to observe the day Michael transitioned on the 25th. So, my June is always full. And now I have to go get ready so I don't miss my bus. And I actually, declined my boyfriend calling while I was recording. So, sorry, Mike.